It's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and today we're going to talk about the biggest mistake that doctors often make when they are repositioning brackets. And I have a ton of content about bracket positioning and about when to repo and why to repo and how to repo. If you want to watch that, you'll want to go to my YouTube channel. So you just go to your YouTube channel, put in the search bar, StraightSmile Solutions. It'll take you to my YouTube channel, which has a green banner. Once you're there, scroll down on that homepage until you find the Straight Wire playlist, which is the braces playlist. There's over 100 videos, and you can find all those ones that you want to watch. I recommend checking them all out. This is free orthodontic education. A lot of people pay a lot of money for these classes. We make it available for free. All we ask is that you like, comment, and share. So anyways, but this is one thing I just wanted to clarify because I'm finding a lot of doctors don't understand this. So just a friendly reminder, of course, you won't have bracket repositioning if you use indirect bonding. And even orthodontists who know how to place brackets ideally use indirect bonding. Why? Because sometimes it's hard for us to get things perfect when we have to stand on our head. It also makes it so we can approve the bracket placement ahead of time so that our team member or our assistant can place the brackets because we've already approved the bracket placement. Then all we have to do is be in the room while we do it, depending on the state that you're in, and verify the placement before you put the wire in. But should be all good to go. It just saves you so much time. And I can tell you, I've been working with general dentists on straight wire for well over 10 years. I mean, I've been an orthodontist for 20, but I've worked with general dentists for 10 years, and the ones that do indirect bonding for at least their first 100 cases just end up being way happier. You're gonna just be frustrated if you're trying to direct bond. Don't bother. Okay, so let's say you did have some direct bonding cases because your indirect bonding cases shouldn't have repos, and you're like, shoot, I need to fix this. Okay, so let's talk about this. Obviously, you want to take your pano x-ray, you want to take a full set of photos. Good idea to work with an orthodontist to make sure you're putting the brackets on right. That's something that we do. We'll help you mark up your photos, tell you where to put the brackets. If it's really bad, just take them all off and do indirect bonding instead, even in the middle of treatment. But the main thing you want to do is after you finish your repos is you need to go back to a lighter NiTi wire. Usually my go-to wire would be 18 NiTi after the repos. And then I'm going to figure 8 all the repos. That means you take that little O-ring and you do a little twist. If you don't know what a figure 8 is, you can use a stainless steel tie and ligature tie it. You don't want to just put on a regular O-ring because it's not going to be tight enough to fully express that bracket. If your repos are so severe that the wire isn't sitting fully into the slot with the figure 8 or steel tie, then you need to go back one more wire. Go back to the 16 NiTi. That's really, really important. Other thing that's important, the biggest mistake I see doctors make is they throw power chain on after they do repos. Cannot do that. First of all, you should never be power chaining on 18 or 16 NiTi, only on heavy rectangular wires, or you're just gonna dump the teeth. And I know that there's some classes that teach otherwise, but trust me, it doesn't work out. You're gonna regret it. Don't do steel ties, don't do long leg ties, don't do chain, just figure 8s. That's it. You can use individual steel ties, but not long lace under ties like this, okay? And no power chain. Yes, that means that maybe you had a space and maybe you closed it and now it's gonna open up again. Yeah, it will. That's why we like to do things in a certain order. So that's why I recommend the sequence of order of appointments for wires and straight wire in general. How does that work? Well, there's no power chain until you get to heavy wires. It's that simple. And you're not getting to heavy wires until you've checked your brackets and done your repos. So it's really not an issue. Yes, spaces are there. Yes, patients like to close spaces. But if you explain to the patient that you don't close the spaces until you get into the heavier wires and there's a sequence of appointments and there's a way to do things, they won't bug you about it. Tell them up front, I see you have spaces, or I know that in initial lighter wires, spaces that are there might get bigger, or spaces that were never there might present. Don't worry about it. That's just part of straightening teeth. As we straighten teeth, more spaces happen. Even spaces that were never there happen, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and close them later once we get into heavier wires. Closing space is easy. That's the easiest part about ortho. So you just really, really have to have patience and stick to your guns and try not to skip those steps. No power chain until you get to heavy wires. If you do that, you will finish these cases way faster with less chair time. Patients will be happier, your team will be less frustrated, and you'll get way better outcomes using less overhead if you use this method. All right, thanks so much.